Alrighty tighty. I took the gauze off the bow. It's all brown now. There's no white spots. It's pretty hard. Still has a long way to go before it's fully cured. But at this point, I can put sinew wraps on the constrictions. And again, whenever you have an inside curve, it should be supported with sinew. If you supported it with the gauze, to this point, but I've seen them lift up after a while. And so on any inside curve, whether or not it's the reflex back, or the handle gets narrowed, or the tips get narrowed, put a sinew wrap on it. Now this is dollar store gauze. $1 a roll. This stuff is strong. I like it better than the stuff I bought at Rite Aid yesterday, which was more of a fabric-y kind of stuff. And when you really reef on it, it'll break. This will not break, so you can compress it further. But I'm just going to take kind of a quick run through there. Where you see the white spots, that's where it kind of pulled apart. And it's almost as if you're pounding on it and you're pulling the tendons apart. It'll get kind of white like that. A few episodes on just hot water in the sink. Take your fingers, just rub it over the white spots. It'll disappear after a while, but wait for a bit until it's dried further before you do that to make the white spots disappear. What other notes? I'm also going to sand the areas where I'm going to sinew wrap a little bit. 120 grit, not the 80, but 120. I think it'll help. And then I'm going to wrap it with these sections of grocery store bags. Don't have the printing against a hide glue, or else it's going to say Dollar General on your ball. I was able to get off work for my day job today, and I made a couple paddle bow blanks. I've been busy beaver here. Now it's not much of a jump. I know it doesn't translate very well in the video, but it doesn't take much to go from this to this. Rounding the back with my 10-inch radius block, hogging it off a little bit. I use Farrier's rasp and scrape it and stuff like that, but I'll take a pencil line, put it down the center, and when that pencil line disappears, it's a perfect circle. Perfect rounded back. What else? I make them on the thickish side. I do, because this takes into account rounding, which will remove a lot of weight. And when you have a perfectly rounded back on a board bow, really, especially when it's approaching 50 pounds, 55, rawhide back it. It's good insurance. That tensional force will be concentrated right in the center. So instead of having this flat, heavy bow, now you've got a rounded back bow, a crowned bow, and all that tension will be concentrated down the center. So I make these on the heavy side, fully tillered. It has the profile. It gets thinner, then it gets thicker. It's kind of an odd bow in that. A standard like American longbow will get thinner, 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 thinner. This gets thinner, 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 thicker, thicker, thicker with a kick on the end. And so you round the back, and you can tiller it and get the weight down by rounding it, or else just evenly sanding, same number from the handle to the tip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on the other side, 1, 2, 3, every inch of the back. That's a good way to get it down to your desired weight. But this isn't about my paddle bows. And as I'm walking towards my horse bow, I'm going to say, just look up John Riggs Raven Bow on YouTube, John Riggs Paddle Bow. I am James, this is my bow. That's a cool one. I hit an 80-yard target with a paddle bow. Anyway, I took my baggie of sinew that's been soaking. Every day it gets better. It keeps getting more supple and supple. Out of the freezer. Just pop it in the freezer when you're done with it, and then pull it out and put it in your warm water bath. And it doesn't take but maybe 10 minutes at the most to then warm up and be usable again. I'm going right from the beginning here. Standard sheet, folded in half lengthwise. I'm going to make a swan. No, I'm not. Ah, that was good. Didn't fold it enough. Let's fold it over a sharp surface. There we go. I just messed up a portion of... Yeah, folding it over a sharp surface really helps. So I've got half lengthwise, folded in half again. Pretty soon you're going to get your origami. I'm running it over a sharp surface. Do it one more time. Will it be a frog or a swan? No one knows. Yeah, I had a few beers. Okay, there we go. This is actually a rubber block. I like the rubber block. Better let me tip that down a little bit. Oh, I just ruined things. It's like the Blair Witch Project. There we go. I use this rubber block that's an eraser for orbital disc sanders, which I use on my paddle bow. Orbital disc sander is kind of the mule of wood shaping. I love it with the rough grit. But this is somewhat soft, and I really believe that the softer, sometimes you need a hard sanding block, sometimes you need a soft sanding block. I'm not going to do a whole lot. But I think the soft sanding block actually is more effective. This also makes the hide glue, I think, more willing to accept new wraps. Dumb me. I usually always, when I make a sinew back bow, go up and over the tips and then wrap it. It's going to be bare wood up here. So I just ended it at the tip. Why didn't I just take a pencil line, measure it off? I use my thumb for 1 inch. When I'm doing string grooves and stuff, that's about 1 inch. Pencil line, and stop the sinew there so I don't have to sand it off now to get bare wood. And just have the sinew end where it needs to end. Okay, that's ready. I took my bag and I rolled it down so I can grab my objective easier. And now I'm just going to rub it, size it a little bit. This is easy. Why you don't sinew back already, I don't know. Now I'm going to do this without fighting it. Maybe I want to just get one fiber, but if 3 want to come out, I'm going to take the 3 and it'll keep it from bird's nesting. And when I'm done, I'm just going to close up that baggie, squeeze as much air out of it as possible, and pop it back in the freezer for next time. Here we go. And I start at the widest point and work toward the narrow point because it drives the sinew into itself. There. And it sticks down nicely because it's been soaking for over a day. And so that stuff is just so soft and it wants to do what it wants to do. What I want it to do. Okay, rinse the fingers in my warm water bath. I'm a guy, so I always have a napkin on me. And I just take my bag, and again, this will keep it from drying faster. This will slow the drying, and so it will bond to the dried back better. I just wrap this. Plastic bags can be so weak. That's alright. The nice thing about this too, and I finish it, I just make a loop. Go through there. Pull it kind of tight. 2 benefits to wrapping with the plastic. Benefit number 1, it'll retard the drying time, so this will stick to that dried back so well. The second benefit is when I take this off, even after an hour, it'll look so smooth. There will be no end sticking up. It's wonderful. Let's do another one. I don't want an edge on it. In this case, I probably should have a wooden sanding block. what I'm doing is just getting that edge down. I've got good edge on the bow. I was pretty careful yesterday. But I don't want a sharp edge right there where the sinew is going. There we go. I'll wind up doing the tips probably tomorrow. And it's no different than what I'm doing today, so I'm not going to bother to do a video. But it'll probably, I don't know, it might take 4 or 5 episodes. I'm going to first maybe carve with a sharp knife to get that sinew off the top and remove the sinew from the tips before I put that collar on there. And again, the collar keeps the string from sliding down. I'll do a wrap, wait for it to dry down, do another wrap, wait for it to dry down, and rinse and repeat until it's big enough to keep the string from sliding. Because believe it or not, if I was to do it all at once, it would just be a big jumbled mess because it would be too thick and it would just dry dopey. I don't need to be as careful with making sure that these are even width wraps because they're going to be underneath the handle. These will be hidden. And this sinew is incredibly strong, so I don't need to have a lot. I don't want it to stick up. To be shown, if I use a rawhide handle, it'll be very thin, and having a wrap there will show up. This is actually easier if you haven't been drinking. Making sure I'm not twisting it. I've got 3 fibers here. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. That's nice. And again, I owe it to... What do I owe it to? Oh, that the stuff has been soaking for a long time. It's not dip it for 20 seconds. I don't want this to be way thicker. There we go. Same amount of sinew. What I really love about this bow, yeah, it's a board bow. Rinse my fingers off in my own little bath. But at every step, this thing is just gaining life. Love it. Love it. Same way with my paddle bow blanks. Again, I'm going to do a little selling here. Just look up John Riggs paddle bow on YouTube. They're awesome bows. That'll be the next kind of build along kind of thing that I'll do. And then I'm going to go on to my talisman again, which that's a bow that has attitude. How long do you leave this on? As long as you can stand it without looking. I should really leave it on all night. There we go. And this packs that sinew down and it makes it smooth. Roll up my bag. Done with it for today, and I'll just, again, pop it back in the freezer. And I can keep doing that for a year. If you want to have a real antique effect, seriously, cool antique effect, take your hide glue and just put half a spoonful of Nescafe Classico. Just get it right out of your MRE bag. And it'll dye it dark and it doesn't affect the strength that I've seen whatsoever. I've used that forever. Let's see here. That's about it. We're done here. Better get a thumbnail. I love it. Have a good one, and thank you for watching.